Okay, so you did it. You successfully followed the Maffetone method way of training. You've built that massive aerobic base by running slow and using your heart rate monitor to stay in your heart rate zone. And now your easy pace is easy. But now what? But now it comes down to the scary part. The moment you add speed work back into your running. The fear is that you'll undo all of the progress that you have made and it will all just disappear, and that you'll get injured. These are the things that went through my head. But wait, today I'll show you the crossover point, the exact moment your body is ready to go 90-10 rule that keeps your base fitness intact. Look, before any speed work, you need to have a new benchmark. So you need to perform a standard MAF test. And this is where you run for 3 to 6 miles on a track or in the last place that you did the test. And it can be in a neighborhood that you've kind of run before, that you're familiar with, and you have done a number of times. And for those of you that don't know what the Maffetone method is, it's a way of using heart rate training to stay in your zone. So you take 180 minus your age, and that equates to your MAF number, your maximum aerobic function. And what you should notice is that your heart rate should stay exactly the same within a few beats of each other. However, you will continuously slow down over time. And that's exactly what you should have happen, because that is the way you know where you stand when it comes to your aerobic fitness. If you're using the Maffetone method, anywhere from a few months or to a year, hopefully you have seen improvement and you have gotten faster at the same low heart rate. And now you're ready to go to the next step. That improved pace at your original MAF heart rate is your green light. If you're not faster, stick to zone 2. Now this test is non-negotiable and it is proof of progress. I've used it and it's worked for me. However, most runners fail here. They jump into, like, let's say 50-50, high intensity, and they burn out or they get injured. And it's like one of the biggest mistakes, confusing reintroducing speed with stopping MAF training. And I'm going to show you the one key metric that's not your pace that you must watch during your recovery periods to ensure you keep your hard-won endurance intact. Now, the 90-10 rule, this is the crossover point. Your training ratio shifts to the 90-10. 90% of your weekly mileage must stay in zone 2 or your Maffetone zone, and only 10% is dedicated to intensity. So here is one workout that can slowly get you primed for that. Now the speed work number 1 is strides. Could be 4 to 6 by 100 meter at the end of your zone 2. Focus on form and not maximum effort. Now, before you start the next step, I would highly recommend that you figure out what your zone 2 maximum heart rate would be, because that's what's needed if you're going to continue. I have a video right here that'll help you figure out what those heart rate zones are. So have a watch if you need it, but if not, we can continue on. Now this would be actionable workout number 2, and it's the intervals and the key metrics. For your one dedicated speed day, you'd be doing 6 by 400 meter intervals, but the secret is in the recovery. 90-second recovery run in zone 2. The key metric you must watch is your heart rate recovery. During that 90-second recovery, your heart rate must drop quickly and stay below your zone 2 maximum. If it doesn't, you went too hard. So I would use that test to know if you're ready to stick with the 90-10 rule and relentlessly monitor your heart rate recovery. It's important, because if not, you may end up in the injury box. It's the way I look at it. This is what I've done in my training over the last number of years. But even if you're starting off, you're trying to switch after a couple of months, and then you want to continue on with some speed. That was one of the things that I did, that I incorporated into my training to see how I improved. And over that summer month that I did this, I found that it worked extremely well. Look, I'm a runner like you. I experiment, I see what works, I see what doesn't work, I learn from it, I evolve, right? Sometimes, I stay back and I'm not running as much as I used to. But then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I got a race and I have it on the calendar and I have to start working my way back up to it. But you don't want to burn out. You don't want to get injured. And that's one of the things, right? When you use the Maffetone method for a period of time, you're so used to running slow and you're like just slugging along, all is good. But then all of a sudden you're like, you sign up for a race. And for me, I was like, honestly, I was a little bit terrified because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be running fast. Your body, you kind of forget what it feels like to be a fast runner, right? You really do. Okay. And when you kind of lose it, you don't want to end up on race day and then start trying to race. You want to have at least that 1 month of buildup to kind of get those fast twitch muscle fibers in gear. It uses your low twitch muscle fibers to run and to run faster, but when your fast twitch muscle fibers kick in, it's like that secondary gear, right? So these are things that I've used in the past to kind of pull the strings on this whole Maffetone method way of training. Slow running works. Slow running takes time. Slow running is not a sexy way of training.
King of the world.
It kind of sucks sometimes because you just feel like you're a turtle. Sometimes you're a slug, or you're just like, are you shuffling along and you're like, I'm not having fun with this. I need something exciting. I need to see a hill. I need to see a root or a rock. I just can't be running on flat terrain all the time. But that's where the secret sauce is. When you're in the trenches going through that moment. Because when you pull it out of your head, like when you get outside of this, things become so much clearer. And I'm telling you straight out, I've done it. I've been there, and it's an amazing feeling. I went from like sitting on a couch to running 100-mile weeks, and it was fantastic. You just feel awesome. And it doesn't take long. Your body adapts. And the more that it adapts, the more that you start feeling happier for the result, and the more that you want to do it. So going through those months of like just grinding out these slow runs to eventually get to a point where you can add in that little bit of speed, that's success. That is something that like should be just celebrated and enjoyed. Because I'll tell you, being there, I love it. And it feels amazing. And, coming up this year is going to be flipping awesome. I've got a number of things planned. Nothing I want to talk about right now, but I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy.
I like sharing things that I've learned through my running journey over the years. Sometimes I just have to take the information that I kind of share with others, and I need to be a better student. I'm digging deep, and I am doing what I can to make time. I have some special things I want to do this year. I'll be telling you in an upcoming video. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But I'm going to get back to where I was because I am stoked, I'm excited, and I really want to see what I'm capable of doing when I put my mind to it. I've been there before, but I've been broken for a long time. Ever since I ran that 50-miler, something happened. Something happened deep inside of me, and I don't really quite understand what it was that broke me and why I've been stuck for as long as I have. But things are changing, things are improving, and I feel like I'm starting to find my old self. So as I continue to run, it's a good time to be alive.
Like I always say on this channel, get out and run. Because guess what? You're worth every single mile. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next video.